Hello. Have you missed me? Those of you that weren't on the Patreon live stream yesterday, have you missed me? Or were you better off without me? And the real question, have you liked the goddamn stream? Because if not, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do with you? Hi, Luna. What are you doing? There's a cat moving across my desk. Hi. Bill, Double G, Skippy, Scorpion, Ramu, Base Dat Bub, Base Dat Dub's Variety Channel, and Alyssa. What's going on, everybody? Great stream till now. What? Until I arrived. Arcana Pro, how you doing? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Been a couple weeks. Didn't stream for a couple weeks. Wanted to let the Vinland Saga have its share of the algorithm. Let's truck, motherfucker. I was trying to ease into it, trying to say hello. You're right. We should be trucking. I can talk and truck at the same time. When do the hot takes start? As soon as you got them, baby. Just tell us what you're thinking, man. For anyone who hasn't been on a truck stream before, shit gets wild, okay? That's all I can say. And I'm not responsible for the things that get said or done in this stream. One Punch Man is mid at best. Sergeant Baja in here with the hot takes already. Damn! One Piece more like mid piece. My hot take is that healthcare should be free. Oh my god, we have too many coming in at once. Shit, guys. Everyone out yourself which piece of cookware such appliance is best. All right. Hang on. Wait, hang on. We got too many hot takes coming in at once. Let's talk about this One Punch Man thing, okay? Mack bread channel win. What do you mean bread channel? What do you expect me to do? Exactly. I need to find, okay. I don't know if there's a way for me to limit the freight market to only jobs that are nearby. Give me a new enjoy that it's to say that I really enjoyed your Vinland Saga video. Thank you. That's very sweet. I'm really glad you did. I'm too lazy to maintain cast iron, but I gotta admit it when others use it, right? My neck fucking hurts today, guys. Let's go. Make bread for the entire channel. You want an entire channel where I just make bread? Is that what I'm to understand? Because I just don't know if that's gonna work, guys. Okay, yeah, this is nonsense. This doesn't help me at all. I'll just do my usual thing of trying to find the nearest job. Patreon tier bread boys for the Discord. Wait. You want a channel on the Discord for bread making? Okay. Maybe. I'm not paying attention if there's anybody behind me, just so we're all on the same page. I'm trying to get to my sister to watch your videos on the main. In the main draw, I've been trying to use the copyright protection boys. They are a compelling reason to watch, aren't they? Condiments on cold cut sandwiches are mid. No, I would disagree with that. I need to turn my goddamn lights on. I always forget what buttons I have set to what in this game. There's my, nope, that's not the lights. Which fucking button is the lights? I thought it was one of these. Hey Kavas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Been seeing you a little bit. How you doing? Skippy be wrong. Yeah, I don't know about this cold cut without sauce thing is. A condiment on a cold cut sandwich can add a nice bit of moistness that you don't get out of cold sandwiches as easily. If he doesn't flip the truck, guys. Do you do YouTube full-time to stream this much? Do you do YouTube full? No, I do not do YouTube full-time. I have a full-time job that I go to throughout the week. I'd like to do YouTube full-time. That'd be nice. Holy fuck, that's a big beet harvester. We going all the way to Washington? That's 60 bucks a mile. I think I like the sound of this job. Or I can take, these both are going to the exact same spot, but this one looks less like a pain in the ass. It doesn't pay as good, but not by much. Let's go with the fertilizer. Mac, what hot takes you got? My hot takes usually come inspired by your hot takes. I don't have any off the top of my head, but if you give me some, I might come up with some. In response to your One Punch Man thing, I actually do like One Punch Man, but mostly because it pokes fun at a lot of shonen tropes that I hate. Shonen tropes, not trumps. I have a list, chat, if we died out on hot takes. I mean, considering how fast they all came in to the point that I couldn't register what the fuck I was looking at, I think we'll be okay for now. Skippy be right? No, Skippy, you can't name yourself as being right. That doesn't work. What's your next topic for your video? I hope it's Hex Hunter. I have not watched Hunter, or I've not read Hunter x Hunter. I read like 3 chapters, wasn't into it. Been meaning to give it another try. I have several potential next videos. There is nothing solid yet. I'm workshopping several ideas. Also, Fat Ass, I love your name, by the way. And hey, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, I'm just gonna say that's like a dagger into my heart, and I don't really appreciate that. What's the fucking speed limit around here? Does this truck not have a speed display? I forget. Do I have to... I have to actually look at the speedometer. Ugh. I'm going way too fast. I would love one on Mob Psycho 100 that show changed me. Love one on... Sorry, when I read one, I thought you meant one like the author of Mob Psycho. Haven't watched Mob Psycho either. Getting around to that. 18 likes already. Truck streams built different. 18 likes aren't enough, Bill! It's not enough! I hate ham more than turkey. For me, turkey is specifically the, like, in my opinion... Here's a hot take, sure. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think turkey is the best sandwich meat. I'm not like the biggest fan of it when it's on its own, when you're just eating turkey. But turkey as a sandwich meat is perfect because turkey does not have a very overpowering flavor, so it adds like the meat texture without making the sandwich taste like turkey. You know what I mean? Like when you eat a ham sandwich, it tastes like ham. When you eat a roast beef sandwich, it tastes like roast beef. But when you eat a turkey sandwich, it tastes like the other things inside the sandwich, and I think that's great. Salami's the best sandwich meat. I find salami disgusting. I do not like that meat. There's your hot take. I don't like salami, or, well, some salami's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of salami or bologna. Mixed meats are just, they're iffy. Video about how Skypia's best arc of One Piece would be fun. See, the problem there is that I very much disagree with that opinion, so that would be a difficult video for me to sell. I get to catch a stream. Also, I'll take whatever your next video is will be a banger regardless. The Villain Saga video is great, man. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I don't think that's a particularly hot take in a live stream full of people who like my videos, but I appreciate you saying it nonetheless. Hell's Paradise only starts getting good in the last 3 volumes. Still haven't read Hell's Paradise. It's getting an anime soon, right? Salami overpowers everything. Yeah, it really does. Salami is a flavor. Salami is its own, and I was a bit quick on saying I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. I think it comes down to the quality of pastrami there. I actually haven't had pastrami. I've heard good things about pastrami, but I've never tried it for myself. It's a weird word. Whenever I think of it, it sounds odd. I'm not going the speed limit. I'm gonna be late on this delivery. Cringe. Unbelievably cringe, actually. What do you think about how people are receiving the 2nd season of Vinland? I haven't really been paying attention to what people think, to be honest with you. My thought was that season 2 is when people would realize that Vinland Saga is really fucking good. Because season 1 does not, you know, the prologue section is not the part of Vinland Saga that's really good, in my opinion. So I think I have seen some people realizing the Vinland Saga is super good, but I've also seen the Neanderthal brain dumbheads leaving comments on my video saying that Vinland Saga sucks now because it's no longer about action and killing, and I'm like, okay. Alright. A lot of people angry at the change of pace. I mean, we do live in a mindset that seems to be lacking in attention span, so something a little more thoughtful that takes time. Maybe isn't gonna work for people. If you're gonna have a Reuben, go pastrami, but be prepared with the worst heartburn of your life. What a suggestion. Fuck, I stopped looking at the road for a second and it curved. Isn't that wild, guys? If you were to watch GTO, what is GTO? That doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Prosciutto, not in sandwiches, but boys. I love prosciutto. Prosciutto's super good. Prosciutto's lit. I don't think I would use it in a sandwich at all, but prosciutto's lit. Prosciutto is a fantastic charcuterie piece. If you're gonna do like a charcuterie board, prosciutto's the way to go, my man. That's what I'm saying. Thor's literally said violence bad in the second episode, like you can't make it clearer. Yeah, for me, like, I actually really wasn't that into Vinland Saga during the prologue and during season 1. Like, I liked it, but I thought it wasn't anything that was, like, jumping out to me as, like, super interesting or super impressive. And then we got into season 2, which is so much more, or like, not even season 2, but just, like, further chapters, because I read it first. And it's so much more thoughtful, and it's so much more character-driven, and it's got this just this incredible way of presenting Thorfinn's internal struggle, and like that's for me when Vinland Saga became like an S tier manga. That completely changed my opinion of Vinland Saga. It to me got so much better after the prologue, even though it wasn't that bad in the prologue. Prosciutto hella good. I use it when I make pizza. Prosciutto on pizza sounds lit. Can we all agree on that? That's not a hot take at all. That sounds great. I bet it would be better than ham. I'm not the biggest fan of ham on pizza. It's like, it's too tough. I don't know. It isn't my favorite. The flavor isn't great on pizza. Prosciutto on pizza sounds lit. Great Teacher Onizuka is shortened to GTO. Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about. Will you ever make a video about a movie like Angel Egg? Agriculture inspection ahead. Prepare to slow down. What the fuck? Yes, I do believe I'll make videos on movies at some point. I really want to make a video on the movie Paprika. If you haven't seen Paprika and you're into anime, Paprika is a worthy watch, but it's one of those movies that's it's confusing as fuck, to say the least. But I really want to make a movie. I really want to make a video on Paprika at some point. I do not know what Angel Egg is. That's an unfamiliar one to me. Prosciutto, chicken, spinach, maybe some garlic on the crust. That sounds good. Is that the one with the red turtle? Red turtle. I don't think that sounds familiar. Oh wait, shit, they're currently inspecting me. I better not leave. May continue driving. Fantastic. Why does oregano smell like bug spray but goes well with pizza? And I've always wondered that. Oregano is in a lot of recipes that I make, and it is good. It is a good spice, but fuck does it smell goofy. You know? It doesn't smell like something that would enhance flavor. Isn't that a horror movie? I'm not good with horror. It's not really a horror movie. It's... I don't know how to describe it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, mind you. It's one of those things, I want to make a video about it because I do not understand it right now. I have to watch a couple more times before I understand it. Freaking traumatic. Really? You guys thought it was scary? I don't know if I would agree with that. I just thought it was weird. It was a weird movie. Unpopular opinion, but I think Breaking Bad is good at best. Yeah, I'm going to have to hard disagree with that. Breaking Bad is one of my all-time favorite shows. I love Better Call Saul, too. In terms of, like, Western TV, it really doesn't get much better than Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I did recently finish Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is really good, too. I recommend Mr. Robot. Read my prior comment? Freaking traumatic. She walked in on the scene with, spoiler sort of, the guy tearing the skin open. I don't remember that scene. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I watched Paprika. Sopranos better than Breaking Bad. I haven't taken the time to watch Sopranos yet. Absolutely loved your Vinland Saga video. Incredible work. Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate that. And to show your thanks, I hope you liked the goddamn stream. Very sweet of you. You guys are so nice. I'm glad you liked the Vinland Saga video so much. I worked for months on that, and it's always like the biggest fear when you work for that long on a video is that A, it will flop, B, the reception will be terrible. And it has not flopped. It's my most successful video in its time frame ever. And it has been gotten a very warm reception, except for how I pronounce names. People don't like that, so. Mr. Robot is a trip. Mr. Robot is wild. I want to watch Perfect Blue. I've seen Perfect Blue. That's a really good one, too. I had to watch that one again to really understand it, but popular opinion, anime debates between characters of different universes are stupid and cringe. I 100% agree. The can he beat Goku thing? Shut the fuck up. They're different stories. You want to know whether or not Luffy can defeat Goku? Luffy can't blow up a planet. But One Piece isn't the kind of world where people blow up planets, so it's not real. It's kind of a moot point. Isn't Perfect Blue the sequel to GoldenEye? What? Go to video. Hope the next one is 6 hours long. Well, whenever the FromSoft video comes out, it probably will be. Never watched a video longer than an hour, but that video felt like half an hour and I want more. Aw, that's so sweet. I appreciate that. I try really hard to make sure, like, if I'm going to have, I've talked about this a lot, if I'm going to have a long-ass video, the least I can do is make sure that there's no fluff. Like, I'm not hanging on stuff. There has to be a purpose to every second of it, in my opinion. So that's, it's good for me. It's good when I hear that, because it says to me that every minute of the video was spent well. Goku can beat Kaguya from Love is War, right? TV shows or movies or anime, which is better? I mean, there's good and bad on every medium. I kind of want to make a video about why, one of the main reasons I like manga is that it's such a long form piece of media that you can really follow a story for a long time. You're going to make a second Vinland Saga video covering Baltic Sea arc? I am thinking about making a second Vinland Saga video covering Hild as a character. I don't know about if I'll cover, like, as huge of a chunk of story like I did in the first Vinland Saga video, but I really want to talk about Hild, because she's my favorite character, and I love how she's written. FromSoft video, hype. Yeah, I'm making a video comparing, contrasting, and critiquing all of the FromSoft hard games, and I think it's going to be a really fun one. I was thinking about Perfect Dark. I thought that might be the case. What are your thoughts on Chainsaw Man Part 2? I love it so far. I think it's fantastic. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I like the kind of slower approach he's taking with the storytelling on this one. Stupid Viz keeps putting spoilers in Chainsaw Man in the notifications. They kind of do that. They kind of do that. Viz is also just kind of really bad about not spoiling things. I don't know. Favorite FromSoft game? Dark Souls 3. I love all of them except for Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 3 is the one that I enjoy the most. All of them are games that I would replay except for Dark Souls 2. I don't ever want to play Dark Souls 2 again. Dark Souls 2 makes me want to die. I actually, because for the purpose of writing my script, I was workshopping the FromSoft video, and I wanted to compare. I wanted to talk about the difference between the remake and the original version of Demon's Souls, because I never played. Didn't play the original. I played the remake, and so I started playing the original version of Demon's Souls. It's really solid too. The remake really didn't change much. It's just a good game. Einar's underrated, IMO. He's like a shining ray of hope in that cruel world. Einar is a fantastic support character. He does so much to influence the other characters around him. Forget why Dark Souls 2 has such a bad reputation. And here's the thing. When I played Dark Souls 2, I knew it had a bad reputation. And I went into it wanting to like it. I did not let other people's opinion taint my opinion. I went into it with a positive attitude. I wanted to enjoy it, and I just did not. It doesn't feel good to play. It's stiff. It relies too heavily on unfair difficulty. It's quantity over quality the entire way through, in terms of bosses, in terms of areas, in terms of like weapons and shit like that. It's just not. It's just not. It doesn't feel good to play for me. I can see things about it that are good. There are good ideas there. But it's just, ugh. I personally liked Dark Souls 2. It's bad, but I still liked it. If I didn't have the other FromSoft games to compare back against, I might like it. But it's just knowing that there's so many better options for playing out there. It's just, I can't justify spending another 20 hours playing it. Playing Dark Souls 3 at the moment for the first time. The bosses seem pretty easy at the moment. Well, it depends on where you're at. Dark Souls 3 has, in my opinion, the best, like, difficulty curve. Where in the beginning things are pretty manageable, but by the end the bosses are fucking brutal. Do you have a favorite movie director? I do not. I'm actually not a big movie guy. I haven't watched a ton of movies. You watched that animation where Velma meets Scooby-Doo? The one that... No, I think I know what one you're talking about because it's made the rounds, but I have not watched it. FromSoft games are overrated. I'm going to agree with you with a caveat. I do agree that they're overrated. I do think they're fantastic games, but the word masterpiece gets tossed around a lot when talking about From Software games, and they are not all masterpieces. In fact, most of them have some kind, like Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3 are, in my opinion, masterpieces. Those are incredible games with no major flaws. Every other game has some kind of major flaw that stops it from being a masterpiece, in my mind. Everyone talks up Dark Souls 1 like it's the best game ever made and it revolutionized gaming. That game has some serious flaws that people are just choosing to ignore. Never played a FromSoft game other than Elden Ring, and that was probably my best game experience I've ever had. I really liked Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a fantastic game. It is, as you just heard me talking about, it's not like a masterpiece in my mind. There's some flaws with that one. But it's a good game. It's a really good game. Hey Jenkins, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking it on your way, and I appreciate that. Elden Ring's difficulty curve was not well built, in my opinion. There's like a serious jump in difficulty in the last like fifth of the game. Not to mention that, you know, there's a lot of unfairness in the last portion of the game, a lack of new enemies or variety. The main thing that drags down Elden Ring for me is that A, I don't think it needed to be an open world game, and B, the last portion of the game is not well done, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for my opinion on the open world thing, because a lot of people really love that Elden Ring is open world, but I just don't think FromSoft games need to be open world. It didn't, the FromSoft format didn't gain anything from being open world. I've only got as far as the Abyss Watchers, and he kicked his own ass in the first stage. I'm in the Skeleton Catacombs, and it's relentless. The catacombs are rough. It took me a long time to get through the first time around. You're getting to the point where bosses are going to start getting harder, for sure. Elden Beast was rather underwhelming, I think. I think everybody agrees with that. Elden Beast was not a good final boss. You spend half the fight chasing him down. They should have given you Torrent for that fight, but if they had, it would have been too easy, so that's why I think you don't have it. Watch the R Vinland video. Your insights help me in making my own urban fantasy revenge plot. I love to hear that. That's fantastic. That's really great. I'm glad to hear that, Death and Roses. And thank you for watching it. Dark Souls was fun, but what's more fun is not popping a vein. And that's a valid opinion to have. I enjoyed Elden Ring's open world, but it makes me not want to play it again for a while. That's kind of how I feel. Like, it's nice, but in terms of, like, replay value, the idea of having to, like, re-explore that open world is... It sounds like a chore. It sounds like a chore to me. Still haven't beaten the Godskin duo. Just summon, man. You know what I did to beat the Godskin duo? I summoned the guy outside. I forget who it is. I summoned the guy outside, and I used the Mimic tier Spirit Ash, because like that fight is blatantly unfair. I don't mind using a little unfairness against them. Elden Ring would be better if there was a more inviting approach towards the open world aspect, more rewarding the player for exploring the world and trying to make diverse builds. That's a big problem that I'll talk about in my video. There's not a lot of reward for exploring that open world. It's just not something that's really worth doing. especially not on a second or third playthrough. We tried Undertale, it's so fun. I played Undertale way back in the day. It was a good game. I don't generally like the turn-based format, so I appreciate any game that can do it in a way that's fun and engaging. Mimic Tear got me through Millennia. See, I did that solo, melee only, like an absolute Chad. Not really melee only, but mostly melee only. Mostly because she dodges most spells. I have a lot of bosses that didn't beat just because I was too lazy to look around finishing the main quests. There's not a strong reason to explore the open world. What would be the way to make Elden Ring open world rewarding, though? See, that's the thing. I think there needs to be a stronger focus on the exploration aspect, right? Because FromSoft is amazing when it comes to having engaging areas to explore. But the reason they're so good at it is because they were showing restraint in other games. You know, they were limited to the areas they were designing, and so those areas were packed full of content. Every path led to something. The problem with Elden Ring's open world is that it's not as fun to explore as the levels themselves, because not every avenue leads to something. A lot of it leads to a dead end, or you'll see an item on a corpse and it's just a shitty crafting material that you're never going to use. That's a big problem with Elden Ring's open world. It doesn't give you It doesn't give you a lot of incentive to explore. Most of what you find or see or do isn't worth finding, seeing, or doing. So the way to make that open world more engaging is to, you know, flesh out those areas more, or make them smaller but more what's the word I'm looking for here? Dense. The legacy dungeons were some of the best areas in FromSoft games. I agree with that. Like, some of the levels in like, for real, like, Leyendell is my favorite area in any From Software game. I love it. It's fan-fucking-tastic. And Stormvale Castle, I think that's what it's called. I'm kind of blanking on the name right now. And Raya Lucaria. There are so many incredible levels. That part of their game design has not dropped at all. That standard is still there. But it's just not reflected in the open world. I only played Elden Ring, but Legacy Dungeons do hit differently. So that's the thing. Like, when you look at old From Software games, not even old, but just like their other games, you only have the Legacy Dungeons, so to speak. So imagine, you know, Elden Ring, but you don't have these pockets of nothing in between the dungeons. You just go from one to the next to the next to the next. It's non-stop quality. With Elden Ring, it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Raya Lucaria is so fucking cool. And then you're in the swamp for 2 hours, and it's not interesting at all. If it were like any other game developer, yeah. Elden Ring's open world would probably be fine, but it's specifically because it's From Software and they're so good at level design that removing level design from an area really hurts them, in my opinion. What I do like about Elden Ring is this like extremely fleshed out world that they've built that you get to explore. I think that's fantastic. I do think that's really cool. But in terms of like gameplay, I don't think it enhances that experience much at all. People praise Elden Ring for not holding the player's hand, but the world is filled with way too much emptiness for the exploring to feel good. The other problem is, like, they didn't do a good job of making it clear to you as a player where you like are or are not supposed to be, because there's all these pockets of areas where you can like easily end up in an area you're like too low level for. Like you can go down to the Siofra River Basin really quickly and you won't be high enough level for it, or you can sneak into Caelid, or you can take a trap chest and get sent all the way to Leyendell. And you find these enemies that just kick your fucking ass, and it's so disheartening to find like a really cool area that looks really fun to explore, but you're just sitting there like, everything here one-shots me, and I'm not having a good time. So that's one problem, I think. They didn't do a good job of helping the player to understand where they should and should not be. Where are you driving? We're headed to somewhere in Washington. Kentworth, I believe. Kentworth, Washington. I got some fertilizer in my trunk. I got some dump in my trunk. We taking all the way to Washington. Shields Corvid, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way in. I appreciate that. I think similar approach to open world like in Gothic games could help Elden Ring. What Gothic games are you referring to? You excited for their new game, Armored Core 6? I don't know. I've never played a... I'm not a big mech game guy. It's just not something I've experienced much of. So I don't have like a lot of experience to draw from in terms of what to expect from that. I will play it, but I don't really know whether or not I'll enjoy it. I also think Elden Ring has the best lore besides Bloodborne. I would agree with that too. I love the lore of Elden Ring. It's fascinating and interesting. You have a trucker hat? I do not own a single one. I could get one. I should get one, probably. Oh, shit. What's going on here? Oh, it's a stop sign. That's what. Demon's Souls as a world was my favorite, but Bloodborne seemed the most realized. The only problem I have with Bloodborne's world is just how samey it all feels. There's a lack of variety in those areas. Because it's all just Victorian streets and a forest or something. That's why Canehurst is one of my favorite areas of that game, because it's the only fucking area of the game that you aren't walking around Victorian-ass streets. I feel like there was a way to keep that Victorian aesthetic without making everything look exactly the same. And that's hyperbole, obviously, but you know what I mean. Where am I at on gas and sleep? I'm good for a while. Do you play indie games? My fave is Night in the Woods. I have not played Night in the Woods. I do play a lot of indie games. I'd say I play a decently even mix of indie and AAA games. I've been playing a lot of Dead Cells since the Castlevania DLC dropped. Sometimes I feel like Caelid shouldn't be so close to the starter area. I don't know. I feel like the problem is that the open world areas are a little too large for their own good. Because you spend so much time in Limgrave. You spend like so long in Limgrave exploring it and like leveling up that as soon as you find something like the CO4 Riverwell or you find, you know, Caelid, the first thing you want to do is go explore that place because it's something different. It's something you haven't seen before and you've been looking at the same stuff all day. But then you're too low level for it. So the solution to that, I think, is to make more of those open areas, but make them smaller so you're not stuck in the same one for super long. Finally, Desert Bus. Yeah! Welcome back, Khan. You finally made it to a trucking stream. Gothic is a series of older games, very popular in the Eastern Europe, open yet very tight worlds. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Is it possible for the truck sim devs to make USA and Euro truck compatibility, like going from Las Vegas to Berlin? I feel like if they ever get to a point that they complete the entire map of the US, they might consider doing something like that. But they've got a lot of the US left to fill before that happens. Josh Stripe made a video talking about the mechanics of Armored Core. Truly fascinating game. I'm interested in it. I like I said, I haven't played a ton of mecha games. But given that I'm a big, like, Gundam kit builder, I really should. I gotta play Mech Warrior 5. Bill bought me that one. And I am genuinely interested in playing it. Tried playing Strike Force Heroes. I have never heard of that. We played a Hollow Knight. The lore of the game is so neat and very similar to the FromSoft games and how they flesh out the world. I have not played Hollow Knight yet. I intend to eventually. Be considered Factorio. No, that's not really my... Those kind of games aren't really my kind of thing. Well, sometimes they are. I really liked Satisfactory. But then I really didn't like Dyson Sphere World, whatever the hell that was called. This is actually based on the US map. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they've... When the game first came out, it was like California, Nevada, and... I don't know. It was like 3 states. But now, through DLC, they've got all of this, and while it obviously isn't one-to-one, no, get rid of that. while it isn't one-to-one, there's like, it takes a long, like if you're driving from Washington all the way to Texas, that's like 2-3 hours of playing the game. Like I've been driving, I think I'm based in like Carson City or something like that. I'm driving from Carson City to Kennewick. Come on, get rid of the, there we go. The insight that Thorfinn must build more than he destroyed, even if he stopped killing, it made me think that my protagonist should stop her pursuit of revenge in the end, but do more, helping the harmed. I think it's a great way to... Here's the thing, if you're going to write a character-driven story, then characters need to be aware of their own actions. I think that's important, and they need to find ways to make up for the wrong that they did. I hate when we have, like, shonen protagonists that just seem to be completely ignorant of their own actions. What did you eat today? I had a peanut butter Nutella sandwich and chips. That's been it so far. I'm drinking some chalky milky now. Happy with the new video results. I am very pleased with the new video results. I am blown away by how many views it has managed to get in such a short period of time. It is actually insane. I hope it'll keep pushing. I hope it won't like drop off suddenly and lose all traction. See, the nice thing about my long-form videos is that they tend to get views for a few months. Like the Chainsaw Man and Berserk videos each got views for months at a time. So for the Vinland Saga video to do this well in the first like 2 weeks, the hope is that it'll keep doing well over the next few months, and then it'll get a lot of views. That would make me really happy. You watched Parasite the Maxim? Oh, some things in that anime? I have not seen that. I think I've heard of it. Yeah, like Goku 100% killed thousands of people. Oh, for sure. For sure. You read Jujutsu Kaisen? Yes, I really enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's one of the best, like, combat-oriented manga out there. In terms of, like, character writing, it's pretty weak. It's not the worst in the world, but it can be pretty weak. But from, like, from the flow of combat, from, like, understanding what's going on, that artist does an incredible job of conveying what's happening. So glad you made that video. Now I don't have to read the manga. Nice! I'll do my part and recommend to friends. I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. Very deserved success. Thank you, guys. Everyone should watch the vid at least three times. Hot takes, maps that aren't one-to-one reality infuriate me. I don't think that's realistic. I do think, I've talked about this before, I think it'd be really cool if they made like a road trip game and took the technology from Microsoft Flight Simulator, where it was like using Street View and Google Maps to build a map for you to drive through. I would love that so much. I would play that game for thousands of hours because I love games where I just drive around. I fucking love American Truck Sim. I've sunk so many hours into this game. But I would fucking love a game where you can just drive the entire US and it's like a one-to-one thing using Google Maps. Even if it looks a bit goofy here and there, that's fine with me. What's one thing you like and dislike about Demon Slayer? Oh boy. One thing I like about Demon Slayer, Inosuke is kind of funny. One thing I dislike about Demon Slayer, the author insists on giving every single character a backstory, yet none of those backstories connect to the plot or build the world in any kind of meaningful way. They're just fluff. They don't mean anything. I just finished your Vinland Saga video and it was incredible. I'd never seen Vinland Saga before, so your video was my first exposure. Absolutely fell in love with the story. I'm so glad to hear that, Gabbard. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you liked it. Last few chapters of JJK are nonstop throwing hands and I'm here for it. Yeah, it's like, that's all it is anymore. The author has like given up on like storytelling stuff and it's just like, yeah, everybody fights constantly. And I'm fine with it. You know, that's his strong suit. That's what he's good at. I'm gonna flip this fucking truck, Alyssy. Holy shit, that was close. Maybe listening to you in the background while I'll comment on my code. See you. Appreciate you, Jenkins. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. By the way, wherever we're driving right now, we're in Oregon or Washington. It's fucking gorgeous. This like mountain pass with these beautiful trees. This looks just like the Willamette Valley Forest. Or not, sorry, the Willamette Forest, not Willamette Valley, but I drove through there when I was moving to Oregon, and it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever driven in my entire life. was not the biggest fan of Demon Slayer, but I will say vaguely that I like the weird compassion the MC has for demons it kills. I kind of hate Tanjiro. He's too much of a good boy. He's an unflawed character, and that makes him uninteresting. Flawless characters are just inherently boring. They're not relatable, and there's nothing going on there to get attached to, in my opinion. I get that he's like a precious little cinnamon roll that that puts a smile on your face, but Jesus fucking Christ, if he could stop being so perfect for 10 seconds, I'd really appreciate it, because it gets tiring. Characters need to make mistakes in order for the story to be interesting. I thought this guy was going to keep moving. I didn't know he was stopping. Had friends get annoyed, like, but they're evil, but I like the moral ambiguity. See, here's the thing. Yes, it has that, but it doesn't do anything with it. It doesn't make any kind of statement about the fact that, like, demons aren't inherently evil. They still, to the end of the story, are just kill them. That's the entire story, you know. It tries to have this thing where it's like demons aren't all bad. They were under poor circumstances, but it doesn't do anything with that. You know, there is a potential storyline there where Tanjiro realizes that the human world is very cruel and that humans are cruel to one another. And yes, it's a bit cliche, like humans are the real demons, whatever. But there's that it's better than doing nothing with it. It's better than doing nothing with it. Then the Saga was the first manga I ever finished. What was the first manga I ever finished? Probably One Piece. Not finished, but caught up to. I agree, I still like the aspect though. And that's the thing, like I get why someone can enjoy it, it's just not for me. JJK is doing better than My Hero Academia in making hype moments in its later arcs. I don't know if it's just me, but the latest stuff in MHA has been sort of boring, predictable. No, I think most people are in agreement with that. My Hero Academia has dropped the ball on its final arc harder than I think any of us would have expected. It is rough. Tokyo Ghoul does it better in my opinion. It's been years. I watched like the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, but it's been many years. I don't remember a thing about it. You caught up with Chainsaw Man? If so, what do you think of Asa in particular? Love her in Turkey, keep it up. Thanks, Braytones. I love Asa. I think she's a great character with a lot of depth. And I'm very interested in seeing where her story will go and what kind of character development we'll see out of her. I think she's fascinating. Dorfman makes so many mistakes. Even after finding his goal in life, he tries taking the hits, running away, restraining threats, taking and learning every time. Yeah, he never stops developing. He never stops changing and working. And I think that's really good. I make sure that my pro tag meme struggles with her silent fury, her fear of being selfish, the risk of losing friends and feeling love and betrayal for the one she wants revenge. That's good. You want that internal struggle. You scream and become a true warrior, have me get up and run a triathlon. Thanks, Jose. I'm glad you liked that. Or Jose? I don't know how to pronounce that. The only thing I disliked about that was that I clipped the shit out of the mic. I don't know if this is true, but the author of Demon Slayer said he's going to try to fix some stuff on the storyline in the anime since he knows he messed up on some stuff in his manga. I have to take some time to actually watch the anime. I've only read the manga of Demon Slayer, and one thing I know about the anime is that it's you know, actually done really well animation-wise. And I imagine that the anime fixes a lot of the problems that I have with combat in that manga, because the combat in Demon Slayer is nonsensical. Like, you can't follow what's happening because there's nothing to follow. It really sucks. Hey, Mac, I always like your thank you, Record. That's very sweet of you. Funny thing is, the editor of Demon Slayer once said to the author to make a simple story, and then that's how it was made. It's a little too simple. It's a little too black and white, maybe. What's one thing you like and dislike about MHA? Something I like. I do like Bakugo's character development. I think it's very slow, and it takes a long time to get to where he needs to be, and I think that's a good thing. Character development shouldn't be some instant thing where a character is immediately a good guy all of a sudden. It took a really long time for Bakugo to come around to being a good character in my mindset, and I like him for that. One thing I dislike about MHA, there's way too many characters that don't have any kind of importance that let me rephrase that. There's too many characters to the point that the author wants them to all have importance, but since there's so many of them, none of them can really have the spotlight for too long, meaning that none of them are really important. Any thoughts on a video for Cyberpunk Edgerunners? I thought about it. I don't think I have anything to say about Cyberpunk Edgerunners that hasn't already been said. When I make my videos, I at least want the things that I'm saying to be A, my own, and B, something that I think people haven't heard before, or an interpretation that is unique. I think my interpretation of Cyberpunk Edgerunners is kind of what everybody got out of it. So I don't think I'd have anything worth saying. What's the best Berserk arc, not counting Golden Age? I love the Fantasia arc, or whatever it's called. I can't keep track of all the arc names. Sorry, no. I think it's called Millennium Falcon. Whenever Shirk gets involved, and it's like Shirk and Guts and everybody fighting the trolls in that one village. I love that part of the story. It's so fun. And it's really nice to follow, because you get to see Guts kind of taking a step back and relying on others. It's a great character development arc for both Guts and Farness, and I love that. Which parents did you get hair from? My dad has thin curly hair. My mom has thick straight hair. So I got thick curly hair. So kind of both. I read Demon Slayer to understand page flow and sword fights. Those 2-page spreads are amazing. I think you could look at better examples. I think Demon Slayer does a very poor job of conveying combat flow. Very poor job. There are a lot of panels that, when you look at them and try to understand what exactly is happening, you just can't. There's nothing to discern. I would look at something like I would look at something like Jujutsu Kaisen for combat flow. I think one of the few series that handles having that many characters correctly is Kengan Ashura. So many characters, but each feel like they get their own spotlight just enough. I have not heard of that. My dumbass thought that AC maps were 1-to-1. When I was in London, I couldn't for the life of me orient myself to the in-game map. Why would you? Okay. I mean, we all think dumb things when we're young, I guess. I'm going to assume that you're young. That's really funny, though. I love in stories when there's side characters where you get this sense and hints of a deeper story behind them, but the story decides to not 100% go for it. I just want every character to be meaningful. I want every character to have an impact on the other characters in a way that is interesting. I need to get some sleep at some point here. In the game, not in real life. Speaking of switching, the same people that complained about how Canute changed too quickly are now crying about Thorfinn taking too long to become his new self. That's kind of a valid point. You have a good point there. Anything worth saying about Dorohedoro? I've never watched it or read it, so no. What are your thoughts on Berserk chapters that have come out after the author's death? I mean, you know, the art is an obvious downgrade, which is something to expect. But in terms of how they're handling the story, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. There's dialogue in particular is something we haven't seen a ton of, and dialogue is something that's very important to Berserk. So I need to see how they'll handle that to really have a solid opinion on that. Anything drawn by Murata looks almost animated with how seamlessly it flows. Who's you? I'm blanking on who Murata is. I should know, but I can't think of it. There's a good analysis thread on Azad and Guts fight. Pull in the Discord because it's good, but it's all long as fuck. That Miura does an incredible job with like flows of battles. I'm gonna make a really steep turn here because I want to get gas. One Punch Man artist. Right! Yes! Yusuke Murata. That guy's fucking incredible. Holy shit. One Punch Man, like no matter how good they make the anime, it's worth reading the manga to see Murata's art. Sorry. Hey, Bedstain, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. MHA's greatest strength is in its early seasons was having really interesting character ideas like Shinso, such an insecure character in the concept of the world. But he got sidelined so hard. Every character did because there's too many of them to have all of them do or be something meaningful. God fucking damn it. Like my favorite example to pull up is Ida. What does Ida do after his character arc? Nothing is the answer. Ida is completely unimportant after his one arc. Fire Punch video win. I have to read Fire Punch again. the first time I read it, I don't really think I understood or had anything. I didn't really have an understanding of what the story is. I had to read it again to come up with an interpretation of it. The adaptation, not the OG one. Yeah. I love the gifts to the animation pages he does. Yeah, those are fun. And busy pre-writing history lessons. That sounds fun, question mark? Not really. It's funny how I hated writing papers in school, but I'll write a 55-page script for a dumb YouTube video. How do I get to this gas station? Is it off the highway or okay? It's this way, or not gas station, rest area. Probably not any type of anime, but have you watched Bochi the Rock? Genuinely the only anime that ever made me laugh. No, I haven't taken the time to watch it. I do kind of like that slice of life stuff or more comedy focused stuff. It's just not something I make videos about. Best TV show. My personal favorite TV show is Breaking Bad. I know that's a very common answer, but god fucking damn, they did that show well. And also, I don't watch a lot of TV, so. Thanos truck. That was the joke, actually, when I got this truck. We painted it purple so it would be a Thanos truck. I don't end up having a lot of time to watch TV shows or anime, so I try to make sure that whatever I end up watching is worth my time. I don't really like taking... I'll take a chance on a manga. In fact, I read a lot of manga that I don't end up enjoying because I can read manga quickly. But watching TV or watching movies, it's like if I'm watching something, it has to be like recommended to me and someone has to tell me that it's good. You fucking asshole, don't turn. You seen The Boys? I have not watched The Boys. It's on my list. Could I show the Supernatural How Catch'em Detective comic script on Discord later? I'm currently drawing the manga, the pages. I could show the Supernatural How Catch'em. Is that what you're working on? What was the first manga you fell in love with? One Piece. One Piece, my one and only. One Piece was the first. It's not the first manga I ever read. I read manga when I was a kid. But One Piece is the first manga that I like really got into. And I still love it to this day. You're driving with a real wheel? Yeah, I've got a wheel down here that I'm turning. It's really fun. I bought a racing wheel so I could play Truck Simulator. I don't use it for racing games at all. I hate that the joke automatically went in my head. Yeah, we're cursed. Not sure if you're more of an anime watcher or a manga reader, but the 91 Days anime is really underrated. I have never heard of that. I do like 3 hours of research before watching a 12 episode anime. You actually have a wheel? Yeah, I've got a racing wheel. All of the wheel movements that you're seeing on screen are basically one-to-one. That's neat. I wish it was in view. If I zoom out a lot, it would be, but I'd have to zoom out too far. It wouldn't be worth it. Here, I can pull it up real quick. If I zoom out really far. Oh, you still can't see it. Fuck. There, see? Right down here. It's too far down. I have to make the frame really wide for you to see this thing. absolutely spoil it for myself like a fool. I don't do that. I hate spoilers. I'm like a big against spoilers guy. And like what I define as a spoiler is a lot broader than a lot of people. Working on an occult detective comic called Agent Bifrin. I'd like you to check it out later. It's inspired by Columbo. Sure, I'd be down. Is that a skeleton? Yeah, it's my roommate. The skeleton man. Why the dead bag of bones there? That's mean. He's just vibing. He didn't ask to be called that. He's my roommate. He can hear you, you know. I sadly can't get into One Piece because I already know most of the biggest moments. See, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to change your mind on this, but for me, One Piece isn't about the big moments. It's about the just experiencing that world. One Piece has one of the most like thoughtfully built worlds in any manga ever, and it's just incredible to watch it exist. What's with his ears? What about them? They're holes. He looks pale. He's been a little under the weather. I don't think he's gonna appreciate reading through these chats and having you guys criticize him so much. He's just chilling out. What do you think of Tokyo Ghoul? I watched it many years ago, and I do not remember a thing about it. I have nothing to say about it whatsoever. I do enjoy Chojin X, the manga that author has been working on. I think it's pretty good. I went the wrong way. Hang on. We're just going to go onto the grass here for a minute. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're not going to flip the truck. Haha. Best evil group in the anime? The fucking... I don't know. That's a really hard question. I have to really stop and think about that. Tokyo Ghoul manga is very well made. Didn't the ending get rushed and kind of botched? That's what I've heard. Frequently. I ought to be getting pretty close to where I need to go. Oh, this exit is blocked off. God fucking damn it. I hate when this happens. All right, pull up the map. All right, if this exit is blocked off, of course, the exit right where I need to be is blocked off. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, I don't really have much of a choice. We're going to have to go the long way around here. Damn. That adds a whole 4 hours to my trip. That was a much shorter trip until about a minute ago. How long do I have left on this job? 4 hours, and we have just enough time for me to make this detour. Damn, that sucks. I think it was a deadline thing, yeah. The ending was okay, but it could have been much better. What's your truck's max speed? That's a great question. I think it probably would get up to like 80, maybe 85. Most of my family drives trucks as their job, so thanks for the preview of my future. Yeah, well, okay. Truck drivers are the backbone of our society. Without them, we can't do shit. So fucking shout out, my boy. There have been several times throughout my life where I thought about becoming a truck driver, but the fantasy of it and the reality of it are two very different things. Of course, that was before I got a job that I like, so Now that I actually have a job that I enjoy, I'm not thinking about other career options as often. If it wasn't so predatory, it would be good work. Yeah, it do be like that. Don't get that song stuck in my head, Alyssa. I will kill you. I will slaughter you. Your job aside from YouTube, you mean? Yes, my job that actually pays bills. Been working alone on a night shift for 3 years, and it has steadily been going from this is cool to I cannot function like this anymore. That happens. I'm not singing the song. After hearing about someone who tried to hurt Easton Alma after the ending, I'm concerned about what would happen to Oda if he doesn't stick the landing. I have a lot of faith in Oda. I really, really doubt he'll fuck it up because he's one of those authors who has had a clear vision of what he wants for the end of his story from the beginning. I feel like a lot of authors kind of figure it out as they go. Oda has known the ending of the story since the beginning. He's elongated it, but he's known the ending since the beginning. Ninja, I missed you too. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking it on your way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, Gon, I worked early hours for a long time, and I never didn't like working early hours. The nice thing about working early was that I got in before. I got it. I liked driving in the dark. There was no one out on the road when I drove to work, and I got out early enough that I could still see the sun. But I missed being awake late at night. I really liked the feeling of nighttime, and I was never awake at night anymore, which kind of sucked. So I'm glad to be on more regular hours again. You from the USA? I sure am. Oregon, baby. Thoughts on Samurai 8? Samurai 8. Are we talking about the Kishimoto work, the Naruto guy? I'm pretty sure we're talking about that. Samurai 8 was fucking terrible. Holy shit, what a terrible manga. That thing deserved to get cut. That was like a diseased tumor hanging off of a Shonen Jump. It was fucking horrible. God, I hated that. One of the worst manga I've ever read. Knowing the ending at the start of a story makes it better, not gonna lie. Well, because you can actually work towards that in a meaningful way instead of having it come out of nowhere like a lot of authors. Masculine urge to careen in oncoming traffic with the mighty semi. Can relate. Wow, this is a wiggly ass road. What the fuck? Hang on. Oh, we're gonna have to take this road a little bit slower than they intend us. This is a 50-mile-per-hour road here. Holy fuck. Greetings from Germany. Hi, Solid. We have a lot of German viewers. The Germans seem to like me. I like the feeling of nighttime, but it's getting to a point just too lonely and weird having to constantly creep around the house, not wake family up. That's understandable for sure. What was so bad? What was bad about Samurai 8? See, it's been a really long time since I've read it, so you're gonna have to forgive me for not being able to give specifics here. But it was just the character motivations were nonsensical. The fighting, the combat was absurd. There didn't seem to be any stakes ever. I don't know. There was. Think of any major writing flaw, and I'm sure it made it. I would have to read it again to give specifics for why I hated it so much. But if you want an example for how not to write a story, which is important as a writer, I think you should read Samurai 8. They ain't even got a synopsis about Samurai 8 on the wiki. Damn, that's fucked up. You know your manga flopped when that happens. How do I put it? I've read a lot of manga in the past few years, especially. I didn't used to read as much manga as I do now. Samurai 8 was one of the first manga that I ever read that I just detested. It was like the first manga I ever read that I had a conscious thought of hating. I'll take Fire Punch is not as good as people say. I don't have a good opinion to put forth on Fire Punch. I read it. I have read it, but I would have to read it again to try to understand it. I did not enjoy it as much as I liked Chainsaw Man. But I don't have a real distinct opinion on Fire Punch to pull from for a discussion about it. I feel like there's something there. I just have to kind of discern what the message is, because it's one of those manga that doesn't tell you. You have to kind of figure it out, and I like that. I like manga like that. I like having to figure out the messages myself. I like when it's not ham-fisted down your throat constantly. Fire Punch has decent fights, but that's really what it has going for it. I would disagree with that. I liked Agni's character arc and his story. I think there's something there, something really deep there to be said. The thing I loved about Fire Punch is how a lot of people have the same powers. Do you know if Jiangxi X is any good? I hate Jiangxi X. I've been reading it. It's not good. I mean, it's not like bad, but it's super unoriginal. You've seen everything having been done before. The power system is ill-explained, and they seem to just pull shit out of their ass constantly. Take every shonen trope you've ever read, and it's probably in there. It's just extraordinarily unoriginal, and what it does do, it doesn't do well. I bet Demon Slayer fans would love it. That was a really mean thing to say. I'm sorry. If you like Demon Slayer, you're chill. It's just not my thing. What just happened? Hang on. What? Oh, no. This is all good. This is all good. All right, Jeff, here's one then. What's a new piece you'd recommend? If you are a fan of manga and you are not reading Dandadan, you are wasting your time. Dandadan is so fucking good. You should be reading Dandadan. I cannot recommend Dandadan enough. It is so fucking good. I adore it. It's not really new. It's like 90 chapters in, but JJK is the same. I haven't understood most techniques in the past 100 chapters, so oh my god. The power system of Jujutsu Kaisen is such a fucking mess at this point. If you understand how Hakare's powers work, you are a galaxy brain. You should be doing research in the medical field for cancer treatment. I have no goddamn clue how Hakare's powers work. After reading through it, I was like, all right, I'll rely on the author to make sure it makes sense. Music kind of slaps. That's the I'm getting close to my deadline music. But it's okay. We got an hour to go. That one really windy road we went up might have fucked me because I couldn't go the speed limit on that. I really like how Fujimoto made a lot of concepts morally gray in Fire Punch. See, Fujimoto does really well what Demon Slayer tried and, in my opinion, failed to do, which is to make you feel that no one is really in the wrong and that everybody is doing right by their own definition. Or, I don't know, just that they aren't evil, that it isn't so black and white. Only Rick and Morty fans can get Hakare's technique. Kind of true. JJK is following Hunter x Hunter's rule of writing by just making a wall of text sometimes. Yeah, and it's not great. I don't have time for a goddamn weight inspection. I'm trying to get this delivery into the hands of my client, bro. It's just mere the protagonist's design of Samurai 8 looks goofy. The art direction of Samurai 8 was terrible. It was impossible to discern anything that was going on, and the character designs were awful. If you can't understand the power system, how can you find plot holes in it? Exactly. If you make it confusing enough, then no one will question you. Come on, let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Of course, there's like a million trucks in the way now, and they're all going slow. Why not? Reading a lot of manga lately, I noticed that they sometimes like to throw in fun facts that have nothing to do with the story in the middle of a fight or intense moment. There's definitely a bit of a problem with shonen series struggling to focus on what's important sometimes. But as long as it's entertaining, I'm willing to forgive it a lot, right? Like, when I've been reading Demon Slayer, right, because I'm considering making a video about why I don't like Demon Slayer, and the easiest way for me to critique why something is bad is for me to find examples of something that is similar but does it well, right? So when I look at something like Demon Slayer, there's a lot of stuff in that story that does not push the plot forward in any kind of way. Or build the world in any kind of way. It's ultimately completely pointless and it doesn't do anything. And when I think about that, I'm like, okay, so if I point that out, then I need to like go back and consider like all the manga that I read and think about, you know, does this happen in other manga that I read? And if it does, why don't I care as much? And sometimes, like, I'll think about it and I'll be like, okay, like, sometimes, like, One Piece has a backstory that doesn't necessarily connect to the overall plot as well as it could. But I'm willing to forgive it because it's at least entertaining. There's so many things that happen in Demon Slayer that just aren't entertaining. They're just not fun. They're not interesting to read or watch. And that's, like, the major problem. Like, you get a lot of, you know, you get a lot of leeway if you can make what you're doing interesting. If you can't at least make it interesting, then you have no sympathy for me. Where the fuck am I? Am I getting closer to my... I feel like I'm driving around in circles. Okay, we're almost there. Excellent. Guys, support the Demon Slayer video idea, please. We need it. It's not watched / read. I have watched and read Soul Eater. I remember the anime better than I remember the manga because I've only read the manga once. I don't really have any thoughts on it. It's been a really long time since I read that. Support any Mack idea because Mack always makes great content, unless I don't. Haha. So do I at you on Discord or you'll check my comment strip? I'll check it out later. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to look at it on stream. All I know about Demon Slayer is that they seem to have revived Michael Jackson into a demon. Muzan's, the main villain of Demon Slayer, Muzan's character design and character designs in that anime in general are terrible. He looks like what a Redditor would think is cool. He wears a fedora and a black suit with like flower petal pattern on it, and he's got like a little bit of a black bang that he can like swipe to the side and like give you a little stare. He looks like what a Redditor thinks looks cool. Were we late? Nope, I got an excellent. Nice. Read through all Demon Slayer, didn't feel anything about while reading it. See, that's a really big part of what I think I could talk about in my video. Demon Slayer, after reading it, is not as bad as I thought it was, but it's still not good. It's kind of one of those things where I can't, it's not bad enough that I can just straight up hate it. But it's not good enough to inspire any kind of feeling out of it. What it does inspire is indifference. And reading a manga that I'm indifferent about is, to me, worse than reading a manga that I hate. Because at least the manga that I hate will make me feel something. Anger. Demon Slayer made me feel nothing. Not sure if I'm using this word right, but I love me some diegetic context in stories. I don't know what the word diegetic means. I thought through all Demon Slayer and didn't... Okay. Let me teach Like, teach me through context clues rather than characters going, what does XYZ mean? And someone exposits it. That's another problem I had with Demon Slayer. Rather than showing you what their attacks do, they always feel the need to explain it. The only demon backstory that's so far that's connected to the story somewhat has been Gyutaro and Daki's backstory, but also in anime only. I don't know. Redditor take his gold. It's true, right? He does. Favorite anime villain? That's a really tough one. Probably Griffith, to be honest with you. Probably Griffith. Because you hate him so much. He's a terrible fucking person. But god damn, his motivations make sense. Wasn't the new Demon Slayer movie the last 2 episodes of season 2 and the first episode of season 3? That's what I heard from somebody who watched it. I watched / read Demon Slayer for the fights. I really do think the story is basically the only reason it popped off. Like it's absolutely the animation. People are distracted by how good the animation is, and I hate to say that because it makes me sound like I'm above them, or I think that I'm above them, and I'm like some galaxy brain who knows better than them. But like genuinely, all people talk about is how cool it is, and if you read the manga, it's not very cool. So. What character design do you think looks good? My favorite Demon Slayer designs are Tengen, Rengoku, and Muzan. You like Rengoku? Dude, his hair looks so fucking stupid. Come on. You have to be kidding. You can't think that looks good. Character designs that I think look good. There's a lot that I think that look good. The problem with Demon Slayer character designs is that they are overly complex. When you design a character, you want to have like 1 or 2, maybe 3 things that are recognizable about them to point to be like, this is this character, right? And the Demon Slayer characters, they just have like a million things to look at. They have a million like unique things about them that you're supposed to pay attention to, and they're too complicated. They're a mess. They look like they were designed by someone on DeviantArt. Animation in Demon Slayer is cool, but I would still prefer a PowerPoint presentation over a bad story. Yeah, me too. My favorite character design is Thorkel, just because I like men with boobs. Thorkel has a great character design, kids. You know what? Thorkel he has his hair and his size. Those are his 2 recognizable aspects of his character design that no matter where he is in a scene, you know where Thorkel is, and you can recognize and spot him. He's a simple character design that's really effective. Inosuke is decent. Inosuke is a decent character design. He's got his boar head and his serrated swords. That's 2 things. He's not overly complicated. He's got 2 things for you to pay attention to. The problem with Demon Slayer's character designs are twofold. Their character designs don't say anything about them, and they're too complex for their own good. What about Thorkel's character is also that he's simple but not dumb. No, he's actually a pretty intelligent guy. I love Thorkel. He's genuinely a great character. He may not be as important as Canute or Thorkel or Einar or a lot of other characters, but goddamn if he isn't entertaining. Listening to American pronounce normal names in my country in your new video is pretty great. I'm glad you enjoyed that and didn't get angry and butthurt about it like a lot of people have. I genuinely, like, anybody who was mad about the way I chose to pronounce things in my Vinland Saga video just needs to go outside and breathe some fresh air. It is not worth getting that upset about. Get the fuck over it. I am not Norse. Shit. I thought this was a gas station. It turns out to be a building. That's kind of deceptive. Oh, I was looking at the wrong icon. That's why. When I make character designs, try to keep it more simple. Use shape, language, posing, clothing, expression, and color to show personality. More details make it complicated. Yeah, you don't want your character designs to be too complicated. You want like a couple things that are recognizable about them, and maybe, you know, a couple things that actually like say something about their character, you know? People hate when I compare anything to One Piece because they want to believe that One Piece is terrible and horrible, but One Piece has great character designs. Luffy is very simple. He has his straw hat, he has a scar on his face, he wears sandals. You know, the straw hat, the scar make him extraordinarily recognizable, and the way he dresses tells you that he's a very like free guy who goes with the flow. He's very like upbeat kind of character who's not trying to take himself too seriously. His character design is extremely simple, and it says a lot about who he is as a character. He's kind of a simple guy. Mac, they watched Viking once, so they know how they're supposed to be pronounced. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who say that like Thor and Thorfinn aren't pronounced with the th sound. I talked about that in my video. But I went and researched that one. Old Norse, they did say like Thor is kind of how it would be pronounced. And that's a very poor pronunciation of it, but it's got the th sound. It's not Tor. Demon Slayer did complicated designs, but everyone looks the same face-wise. It's awful if you're not paying attention. Yeah. Oda has such great character designs with his art styles. They're so iconic. They're so like, and you know, let's take another example. Doflamingo. Doflamingo's got his goofy ass pink feather overcoat and his bird-shaped glasses. Doflamingo is extraordinarily recognizable by those two things alone. It's two items that he wears. Two items that he wears, and you always know it's Doflamingo. And the way he smiles, and the way that like veins pop out on his forehead shows that like inner anger being expressed through like this faux jovial attitude. What do you think about Arcane if you watched it? I think Arcane is fantastic. I watched it with Sean last year. I don't give a fuck about League of Legends. It's one of my most hated games. I'll never stop talking shit on League of Legends. But fuck me, Arcane was good. Sweats. I'm gonna go ahead and assume you're a League of Legends player. Same with Saitama. Literally put eyes and a smile on an egg, and people say it's Saitama. Yeah, you want that. If you want your characters to be recognizable and like iconic, make them simple, but make what you do with that character design say something about them. You should be able to look at a character and get some idea of who they are as a person. When you look at Demon Slayer character designs, you cannot discern anything about them because A, it's too complicated, and B, none of the items of their person say a goddamn thing about them. Think about Uzui for a minute. What is that goofy ass like gem headband that he wears with like the gem tassels on it? What does that say about him as a character? Nothing. It's just complicated and hard to look at. Love how Oda designs outfits. The man is a good outfit designer. I love how he just, I don't know, he doesn't pull from modern fashion. He just makes up his own shit and it looks great. You seen 91 Days? I have not. I don't know what that is. Shows with bad endings in the way that it is a depressing ending are a perfection, only if it's executed well. If it's sad or depressing for the sake of it, without having any kind of message behind it, then I would disagree. There's this guy called DB Skyan, and he gives off some good insights about character designs and paneling inside of One Piece. It's hard for me to talk about stuff like character design and like working with your panels in your manga because I'm not an artist, so I don't know technical terms for a lot of things, but I do think I have a really good insight in how to do it well. Because I've read a lot of manga, I know what looks right. Uzui says he likes to be flamboyant, so maybe that's why he dresses flashy like that. Maybe you could make that argument. I don't know. Personally, I don't think the articles of him, that are on him say much at all, but maybe that's my bias. I don't know. How the fuck do I get into this fucking parking lot? I'm going over the grass. Fuck it. Very late, but diegesis is a style of fictional storytelling which represents an interior view of a world in which the narrator presents the acts of the characters to readers or audience. I don't know what that's in reference to. Oh, diegetic. Is that what you're... Oh, okay, gotcha. It's related to that word. Similar example, if music plays over a scene in a show outside of the story, it's not diegetic. If the music comes from within the story, like the characters can hear it, it's diegetic. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Almost cried in the last episode when Thorfinn smiled. It's wholesome, right? Makes you happy. Makes you happy to see Thorfinn doing well. Thinking of character designs, what do you think about JJPBA character designs? See, there's something to be said about how over-the-top JoJo character designs are. They kind of have the same problem with the Demon Slayer character designs, where they are too complex and they don't say anything about the characters. But the fact that it's every character that looks like that, there's something about it where you're just like, I don't know. I can forgive it because it's interesting, at least. It's something unique. I'm personally not a huge fan, but I also don't detest them. It really is bizarre. Yeah. It's just funny how he dresses every character as if they're going to be on one of those catwalks that people make fun of for how goofy the fashion is. I would say it depends on the character, Keshi. Some characters are genuinely like too complicated for their own good. Others not so much. Like if you look at someone like Fugo from Part 5, like that's not a complicated design. He's just wearing a suit with Swiss cheese holes in it. It's not overly complicated. But there are characters who have outfits that are just genuinely hard to look at. What are your thoughts on Evangelion? Lots of people in my friend group say it's bad. I think it's pretty good. I have to watch it again to really have like a good interpretation of it. But I do think it's really well done. I really enjoy... I don't know how to say it, like taking that over-the-top action and like mecha premise and turning it into a more character-driven story. Okay, but Rohan got drip, we can agree on that. I'm glad you think so. I hope you're reading Part 9. The Part 9 memes are funny as hell. I gotta be real with you on that one. I've been really enjoying reading Part 9 and seeing the memes coming out of it. Is everyone's opinion on hair parts? Like having a part in your hair or not? Well, obviously I'm somewhat for it. Frozen fruit all the way to New Mexico, that's a really long job, but this one's all the way to Texas. Holy fuck. If I do either of these jobs, I'm probably going to have to leave in the middle of them, to be honest, so. My sister gets mad because I tell her Josuke looks like he took a waffle iron to his pompadour. He kind of does, though. I'm personally not a huge fan of how middle parts look, but it also can look... I don't know. It depends on the person. Everyone has like different things that look good on them. How I would say it, I guess. I think I look good with a side part. I think with my hair, I would look fucking terrible with a middle part. Look like goddamn Hey Arnold. Alyssa, my hair is parted on the left. You know that, right? Shouldn't drive through my house, Mac BRB. Okay, I got you, bro. You afraid of me, Alyssa? Is that what you're saying? You trying to say something about me? I'll kill you. I will stab you. Clip that, report this man. All I did was threaten violence against you. Get over it. I think Guts is a cool and good design. He has a shape, language, with squares and triangles. The contrast between Griffith and Guts adds meaning, so it looks intimidating. I talked about this in my Berserk video, how Guts ultimately has a pretty simplistic design that says a lot about him. Like, you see scars on his body and you know he's, like, been through a lot. It's not super over the top where he has, like, a million... Like, when you look... I think it's someone like Shinazugawa from Demon Slayer, how he has very overt scars on his body, and it looks horrible. Like, that's too much. You don't need that much. Guts has scars, but they're small. They're little. They're here and there. And that's enough to tell you he's been through a lot, you know? He wields a giant sword, and he's muscly as hell, so you know he's probably strong. There's a lot that you can discern about Guts as a person from his character design. Do you feel like Vinland Saga changed how you approach arguments or issues with other people? Actually, I would say it did not. I think it may have if I did not already approach interpersonal relationships the way that I do. I think I'm a decently conscious person of like how I should and should not deal with other people. I think I handle my interpersonal relationships decently well. Can you crash horribly in this game? Absolutely. I've done it. I've flipped my fucking truck before. And I'm not going to do it today, no matter how badly Alyssa wants me to. This is probably a mistake. Oh, almost got into an accident, but... Thoughts on Girl Scout cookies? I'm not really that into them. They're okay. Such a random question, Skippy. I like the Thin Mints. I don't remember what the fuck they're called. I like the minty ones. They're new cookies? Fucking Adventureful? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Fave chips, mine are Lay's sour cream. Oh god, I don't fucking know. I do like a nice cheddar and sour cream Ruffles. Should crash into the nearest building. I don't think that would be good for my precious Thanos truck. Girl Scout cookies tier list stream win. I don't eat enough Girl Scout cookies to make a tier list. Great Vinland Saga video, Mac. Thank you, Nico. I'm glad you liked it. Show how much you enjoyed it by liking this stream too. I appreciate that. Wyoming. That's a pretty short job. Complex trailer though. Let's do it. Let's take some cement. You're about to set for a heavy haul job. My truck is great at heavy cargo. Are you trying to say it isn't? The most drum trunk can take anything. Yeah. I used to be pretty aggressive and put a little too much of my self-worth and my pride before reading Vinland. That's definitely something... I used to approach interpersonal relationships very differently before I took a communications class in my brief stint in college. that talked a lot about how to handle interpersonal relationships. It completely changed how I approached dealing with other people, and I came out of it a much better person overall, I think. Have you ever watched Fade or read it? I have watched Unlimited Blade Works, I believe it was. I looked up like where to start, and that was like the top one that people said to start with, and I did enjoy it. I'll probably watch more at some point. I don't know when. 15 hours worth of my life given to your video. I'm glad you like it so much. That makes me really happy. I love hearing people enjoy my videos. Opinion on Chainsaw Man character designs. Chainsaw Man does an incredible job with character designs. They're very simple but effective. And the demon designs, goddamn. Y'all reading that new chapter? I won't talk about it too much in depth because I don't want to give spoilers to people who aren't reading it, but damn. Damn, everybody's simping over the new devil. I did some interpersonal relationship training and it backfired. Now I just admit fault to everything to avoid conflict. That's unhealthy. Should try something else, Gone. Let her cook. Everyone loves the new devil. Excuse me, truck. Fuck. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh my god. I fucking killed that man. I'm gonna drive. There's a fire truck. The fire truck will save him. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm not getting the shit on my insurance. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was their fault. They made an illegal turn. Fuck. Fuck. Is there anyone coming? I gotta run this stoplight. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. I just took a father away from his parents. I just took a father away from his children. A son away from his parents. No one saw it. No one saw it. Matt confirmed felon. Well, we knew that. We knew that before this. This is unrelated to that. Shut up, Starenda. You aren't real. None of you are real. You're all AI generated to torment me. We've been over this. No one who watches my streams is real. If this pile of corpses will lead to the completion of my dream, then I will happily stand upon it. You still have that Hitler book? Good time to bring that up. No, I do not. That's right, when you feel my hand on your ankles that you step into bed, that's not really either, right? No. No. It's all fake. AI generated touch sensation. Attack on Titan win. I feel the same about Attack on Titan as I mentioned about Cyberpunk Edge Runners earlier. I don't think I have anything to say about Attack on Titan that hasn't already been said. It's not a story that's very open to interpretation, I think. I mean, it is. But there's not really a lot of ways to interpret it, I don't think. I prefer to focus on manga that I can add myself into, so to speak, by, you know, I prefer to talk about manga where I can offer some form of interpretation of what the fuck is going on. And I feel like with Attack on Titan, there's really only a couple ways to interpret it. James Summerton did several good videos on Attack on Titan. No recommending other content creators in my chat. That's fucked up. The accident was not your fault. It's time to let us go. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't my fault. That's why I'm getting the hell out of here. One have interpretation? I don't know what you're asking me. One Piece interpretation? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, there's a lot that I could say about One Piece, I think. Manga or anime and why? It's not a one or the other thing, I don't think. It depends on the manga or anime. When it comes to something like Demon Slayer, you're probably better off reading the anime because the manga lacks good combat direction or good art direction. But when it comes to something like One Punch Man, like, I would implore you to read the manga because Yusuke, or Yusuke? Murata? Is that his name? His name isn't Yusuke. I can't remember his first name. Murata has an absolutely incredible art style that is worth seeing and taking your time to enjoy. One Piece anime sucks. 100% agree. I will forever stand that One Piece, the animated adaptation of One Piece is terrible and you are far better off reading the manga. Mack's the only YouTuber on the site. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely true. You think Audio will go to Two Piece when he's done? I really doubt it. I'll take the red truck driver deserved it. He made an illegal turn! He made an illegal turn! Every other YouTuber was created by AI to give Mack a platform. They were all created to give me a challenge. But it isn't enough! It is Yusuke, okay. I'd love to be able to read an anime. Make a video on Dragon Ball. Me making a video on Dragon Ball would be me making a bunch of enemies. Did I say reading the anime? I didn't mean to. I'm dumb and I've been streaming in a while. There are times that you should read a manga and times that you should watch an anime. There's no one or the other about it. It just depends on the series. You shouldn't watch the One Piece anime. You should read it. You shouldn't read the Demon Slayer manga. You should watch it. Did I say it again? I can't. I'm done. It takes a high level of art skill to even try replicating the One Punch Man style. And it's not really something you can do in an anime. Solid, if you keep talking about it, it's going to tip the police off to the fact that I was there. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. I woke up. I found her. That's all I know. Do you read any Korean series? I read one a really long time ago that I do not remember the name of. Other than that, not really. Thoughts on Dragon Ball Z? I don't like Dragon Ball. It's not for me. It is, in my opinion, very poorly written on just about every front. I do not think the action is particularly interesting. I think most people like it because it was their first exposure to that kind of content. Tower of God? Don't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Don't play the BoJack Horseman card with us? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I gotta get my truck repaired. Somehow it keeps getting damaged. I don't know what's causing that. Unless you have Mr. Beast monitor, then One Punch Man anime will never look like the manga. No, not ever. What was your first anime and manga? I have no idea. I have been watching anime or reading manga basically my entire life. Probably like Naruto or One Piece or Bleach or maybe Dragon Ball. You know, something that was airing on Adult Swim. If you make a video saying that you're 100% getting doxxed, what, the stuff I said about Dragon Ball? Yeah, no. If I make a video about Dragon Ball, I'm just making enemies. I'm here. Good work on the Vinland Saga video, Mac. Thank you, Ro. I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. I'm glad you liked it. Gone. Don't ever say that again or ever do that again. Where did that even come from? First anime ever was Inuyasha back in the early O's. See, it may have even been Inuyasha. It was one of those. Something that was airing on like Adult Swim or Toonami, that just something like that. The next season of Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, the live action, right? Bill asked. I don't see Bill in this chat. When did he ask that? You're reading the sequel of Seven Deadly Sins? I haven't read Seven Deadly Sins. I didn't really like Seven Deadly Sins as an anime. I thought it was good at first. You read Kingdom? I do read Kingdom. Kingdom is great. Kingdom's a fun one. You read Vagabond? I have not read Vagabond. I really need to. I imagine my next multi-hour-long video could potentially be on Vagabond if the reputation it holds stands up. I think Toriyama's want to be done with Dragon Ball for a while. I don't know. Will you make a video about Dorohedoro and manga? I would have to read it first, so I don't know. My first was Death Note, I think. Maybe Beyblade or Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, if we count stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, it was probably one of those. Coalition War arc is probably the best arc of Kingdom. It was really fucking good. I have loved the like invasion of Zhao, but it has really been going for a long time and doesn't feel like it will ever end. What do you think about Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't fucking remember a thing about it. I used to watch it when I was a kid. I don't remember a thing about it. I think the character designs are terrible. Can you fucking not do that? Oh, the lane ends. Of course, you're gonna pull that shit while the lane's ending. Dick. Kingdom video? Potentially, I might make one eventually. I don't have anything to say about it right now. I would have to give it like a full reread to like come up with something to say about it. It's in like the anime for Yu-Gi-Oh, but I love playing the game. I have never understood how the game is played, and I don't think most people who play it do either. Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. I have not watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, no. I know you're a truck driver. On top of your any other achievements, is there no end to your talents? No. I am a formless god capable of anything I set my mind to. Can confirm Yu-Gi-Oh! Players don't know how to read. I'm like the worst card game player ever. Like I know how to play Magic. I don't play Magic. I never actually play the card game. I collect the cards because I think they're pretty, but I don't actually play Magic. I used to play Magic, but now I really don't. We just looked at the attack and defense points as kids and ignored the rest. I think that's how my friends and I were with Pokemon cards. I distinctly remember playing the Pokemon trading card game, but I don't know the rules of the Pokemon trading card game. So, Magic's card art is meh. Hard disagree with you. I love the art of Magic cards. I especially love special art sets that they do for sets like the Strixhaven Japanese exclusive art cards, or the whatever the Viking one was, I can't remember. Kaldheim, the Kaldheim Norse styled cards, really cool. Everyone should read Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is really good. I enjoy Sakamoto Days. It strikes a really good balance between comedy and action. So Mastered Solitaire on my laptop back in 2001. Fireworks every time. That and the Space Cadet Pinball. Space Cadet Pinball is fucking lit! Space Cadet Pinball's best game ever made! Let's be real about that, okay? You should look at Yu-Gi-Oh's current state of card artwork, much better than Magic. I don't think when it comes to art, there's a better or worse per se. It depends on what style you like. I like the style of Magic cards. I'm not particularly fond of the style of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I would probably end up disagreeing with you. Sweet, don't have to go to the bypass station. Or I don't have to go to the way station. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic have similar enough art directions that they could be compared personally. I really need to like do some card opening streams or something sometime soon. I've got some cards I've had sitting around for a long time waiting to be opened. I like the style of Pokemon cards where they look like Play-Doh. There's some like Pokemon sets that they do that they have really cool card styles. Like they did like a yarn style thing that was really cool for a bit. Wasn't Gwent big, then it died out of nowhere? I don't know about Gwent. I don't know anything about Gwent really. I tried to play it in The Witcher 3. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like Witcher 3, so that's the extent of my Gwent knowledge. Why is everyone driving so slow on this road? It's 65. I get that it's raining, but everyone is driving slow on here. Like I've just been in the passing lane for like 100 miles, I swear. I really want to get some Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Magic cards soon. I couldn't afford them when the set was out, but they're still available. And I want to get them. Baker City, get out of there. I won't be here for long, Pink Shades. Don't worry. I think. How long are you planning to stream today? Once I'm done with this job, I'll probably stop streaming. See, I love doing trucking streaming because it gives me a chance to like talk to you guys and converse a lot more. The problem is the position I have to sit in so that I can use the pedals on my steering wheel setup. It makes my ass hurt pretty quickly, so I can't stream this like super duper long. You watch Ghibli movies? I have watched a ton of them. I don't know like how many in total or like whether or not I've watched most of them, but I have watched a ton of them, yeah. My rats are angry because I'm improving the cage walls. Ah, they can't escape as well. Appreciate your sacrifice. It's okay. You guys know I love a good ass pounding. Oh, I mean to do that. Truck driver looks like it would be a great job if people make you anxious. Pay's not too bad, low key. Listen to a podcast, wonder about the hours and flexibility. Well, see, that's the thing. The hours are brutal and the flexibility is non-existent. Non-existent. Even at like good companies. Like I work for a really good company that treats their people well. Our truck drivers work 4 days a week, which you don't think is bad until you realize they are on the road the entirety of those 4 days. That is more than a 40-hour work week. That is let's see, 24 times 4. That's like a 96-hour work week. You know, even when you're resting, you're not home. You can't relax as easily. Truck driving as a job sounds really nice in theory, but the reality of it is that it is a very rough line of work. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? The game just like alt-tabbed itself. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I could have driven into a railing, so please don't do that again. I mean, there's a reason that like the whole like meth meme is such a thing in the trucking community. It's legitimately a brutal fucking job that they end up resorting to drugs to get the job done. At my workplace, there's not much to do, and honestly, everyone gets their work done within 2 to 3 hours and then hides out for the rest of the night. Wouldn't you then have more negotiating power since drivers would always be in demand, at least a little? See, that's the thing. You get paid really well. Truck drivers get paid really well, and that's their recompense for like how shit the work conditions are. If and when I finally get a normal job, it's going to be one hell of an adjustment. Guess I'm back to plan A, win the lottery. Aren't we all? My current job has been a serious change for me because I went from working hourly in retail, where, you know, you're expected to be working all the time, to what I'm doing now, where I have a set of expectations, but other than that, like, a lot of my time is to myself, and a lot of my job revolves around research and, you know, learning and studying kind of stuff. So I have 3, 4, 5 hours of work to do in a day that actually revolves around my job, and the rest of the time it's like, okay, I'm doing research on dried prunes, trying to find new vendors, stuff like that. And it's seriously interesting because, like, my boss never really checks in on me. She's not worried about how I'm spending my time as long as the work is getting done. And since the work is getting done, it's very chill. It's very relaxing. Where I just, you know, work at my own pace and get my shit done. Anyways, hope you check out my comic strips Agent Bill beef run after this stream. Truck Simulator pretty chill compared to IRL, for sure, to say the least. I'll definitely take a look at it. I don't know if I won't take a look at it right away because I have plans with friends after this stream is over. But I'll definitely take some time to check it out. Pretty much same, except the work gets done within 2 hours and it's just 6 hours of nothing. My work, like the time that I don't have like something to actually do, it's really up to me whether or not that's going to be mind-numbing. Sounds like a dream environment for someone like me with the ADHD and autism. Nothing I hate more than management breathing down my neck with fake smiles. I hate being micromanaged. One of the things I was very clear about when I interviewed was that I like to find my own way to do things, and I like to like make my job my own. And that was one of the reasons they hired me. They were like, we like that you want to like find ways to do things on your own and find the best way to do things. We don't want to have to hold your hand all the time. So it's a really nice job for me. I have worked a lot of jobs that I don't like or that I've been indifferent about. This job I actually enjoy, and I feel like I'm valued and respected at, which is different for me and really nice. Do you live on your own? Yeah, I live alone except for Skeleton Man. He's my roommate. And Luna behind me, you can see. But I'm the only human living here. There's a skeleton and a cat. But other than that, I'm the only human living here. Really understandable. Appreciate you spending time on. Also, what other hairstyles have you had? I used to pull my hair back into a ponytail and put a hat over it. That's about it. I don't really know what to do with my hair most of the time, so this is just what I do with it. I think it looks okay. People usually either really love it or vehemently hate it, so it's pretty 50-50. It depends on you. Whether or not you like my hair tends to really rely on your political leaning, to be honest. Liberals love my hair, conservatives hate it. Conservatives hate seeing a white dude with curly hair embracing that hair. Sure you've seen Breaking Bad, right? Yeah, we were talking about Breaking Bad earlier. I love Breaking Bad. It's a great show. I've watched it a bunch of times. Fucking detours, man. How much is it going to sideline me? If I can just go around it, which is probably unrealistic, it won't sideline me at all. If I can't go around it, then it's going to be like a multi-hour long detour. Please just let me go around this. Come on, get out of the fucking way. He cut me off and then get rear-ended, and I'm the one who got a ticket for it. I'm a truck. It's not easy for me to stop. Self-filtering hairstyle. I moved from working 70 to 0 early last year because of traumatic breakup with family. Going to start my first one back soon, applying to work in an old mansion here in England. Dream is to be a writer. I do not recommend a 70-hour work week. That is too much. Should try to find a better balance. You watched The Last of Us show? I have not watched it. I have never played the game, so. What's your opinion on Better Call Saul? I love Better Call Saul, too. I like Breaking Bad more, but I don't think Better Call Saul is worse, per se. They're different shows. Better Call Saul is a much more slow burn kind of show. It takes a lot more time setting up pieces before knocking them down, and I think the payoff for those setups is incredibly well realized. Ah, come on. When you're in your Vinland Saga video, when you said Thorfinn and his friends are absolutely shredded, that's not gaseous appreciation. Thank you. I'm glad someone recognizes that. I'll work 90 hours if it means being able to save up for a deposit for a place. Guess we'll see. Thanks, Lad. Personally, I value comfortability and freedom more than financial security, but everyone has their own things. Kind of like Ashlad, except you just have to ask people what they think about your hair and you know whether they're liberal or conservative. Yeah, more or less. Hit the gym and make my wife see it. And my wife. See ya. Okay. Maybe don't do that other part, but have fun. Favorite kind of bread for sandwiches? I usually go with Italian. I haven't been very adventurous with my sandwich breads. I'll eat whatever bread comes on a sandwich, but if they ask me what I want, I'll just go Italian. Okay, good. We can just go past this blockade. Whether or not I can complete this job without needing to sleep is going to be kind of dicey. I'm going to go for it. Wait, how long do I have on the job left? 10 hours? I got 2 hours and 40 minutes left to driving, so if I take a nap for 8 hours, I'll barely be able to make it in time. So we'll just keep going. Favorite kind of salad? I don't really have a favorite kind. I'm not that big on salads. Lettuce is a pointless food. I had to go. It's getting pretty late here in Germany. Do you stream weekly? I stream 2 or 3 times a week, yeah. So I'll see you again, Solid. Appreciate you. Take 5-hour energy, easy. Where is Bill? We need to start some controversy in the chat. Controversy's nuts. Favorite ice cream? I'm a Moose Tracks guy. Moose Tracks is fucking lit, but I love ice cream. Like, for me, ice cream is like music. It's hard to pick a favorite because I love them all so much. Except for Superman. If you like Superman ice cream, you are a person who does not deserve to have taste buds. I want to rip your tongue out and cut it off. Because Superman ice cream is possibly the worst thing in existence. Possibly the worst thing ever. Bill is my favorite Mac chatter, and that's not a hot take. Damn, I didn't know people were getting ranked. Nice. See you next stream. Have a nice day. And appreciate you, Steven. Or 7. Have a good rest of your night. Flat soda better than carbonated soda? You genuinely do not deserve to have opinions anymore. That is awful. What's been your own personal battle, Mac? As Ashley would say, which part of yourself do you have to fight? Sorry, that question's odd. No, I understand what you're saying. I used to be a very selfish and self-absorbed person when I was younger. So I have, over the years, learned to be less of a piece of shit and to value my relationships more. And it's something that I, still work with, but I have a handle on it. I wasn't about to mention Superman ice cream, not at all. What do people like about it? What is good about it? It's disgusting. It's horrible. Lost some good ones, perhaps? Well, the nice thing is that most of the people in my life that I wronged in the past, I have been able to reconcile with and get forgiveness from, which is good. My best friend in the whole world, him and I didn't talk to each other for like a year and a half. And we were able to mend that relationship, and I'm glad we did, because I love him to death. Never heard of Superman ice cream before now. It's disgusting. It's horrible. He's right. It's you that doesn't deserve an opinion. You manga on the video. No, you guys are wrong. I do not know what rainbow bagels is. That sounds like news to me. Someone say we need controversy. Sorry, I've been snipping wire. Orange chocolates is for sociopaths. Orange chocolate is fine. It's not like great, but it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I still like it. If I had to choose between orange chocolate and any other kind of chocolate, I probably wouldn't choose it. Oh, Jesus. This road should not be 65 miles per hour. That is a steep turn. Worst fast food experience from chat and Mac? Oh, Bill, you know it. It's the green nuggies incident. That is by far the worst fast food experience I've ever had. The fabled green nuggies incident. I like cookie dough ice cream and cookies and cream. Both solid choices. Like I've said, there's not a lot of ice creams that I don't like. I think they're all fantastic. Do you think Berserk is going to go from the last chapter? It depends on how much the people support it and enjoy it. If they don't like the direction that the team is taking it, they're going to stop reading it, and then it won't get finished. Restaurant called Zobreros in my hometown served me rotten milk, and there were bugs cooked into the food. That's fucking gross. Oh my God. And McDonald's forget to put patties on my burger. That's a big oof. Weird thing, we've been there before and had been previously fine. Don't know why that night was so bad. You were there the night Gordon Ramsay was coming to film Kitchen Nightmares. I swear to God, Gordon Ramsay's team sneaks into the kitchen and puts rotten food there, specifically so Gordon can find it later. It's Diet McDonald's. What's the green nuggies incident? This was 2018, I think. I worked a really long day. I was working at World Market at the time, which is a furniture store, and I worked a really long day that was really unpleasant. And after I was done with my day at work, I needed to go to my old high school to help film a football game, because I would do that with my video department. I would go and help them film games. Even after I graduated, I still did that. So it was the middle of fall. It was a football game. It was a cold, rainy day, and I got stuck up on the press box. And I promise all this is relevant to the whole story. So after a long day, 8 hours of working in retail, not a particularly pleasant day, I then spent the next 4 or 5 hours on top of a press box in the cold and rain, unshielded, filming a football game, which isn't even a sport that I like. And the worst part about working in video is that when the event is over, you don't get to go home. You have to tear everything down. We have to clean up the cameras, take all the wires down. So I spend 8+ hours working a shitty day in retail. I spend 5+ hours out in the rain and cold. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've had a really bad day. The only thing that I want is to get some McDonald's chicken nuggets and go to bed. It's a comfort food for me. It's something that makes me feel better. So I go to McDonald's, and I sit in this drive-thru for, I swear to God, 20 to 30 minutes. I was between two cars. I had no option to leave. For some reason, whatever car was in front just would not move. It sat there for 20, 30 minutes while the rest of us were just trapped. I just wanted my nuggies. I wasn't trying to wait in there for fucking ever. I just wanted nuggies. When you go to McDonald's to get food, you expect it to be 5 minutes, you're in and out, at most. I was there for half an hour. I finally get my nuggies. I drive home to my small apartment that's kind of shitty. I had a bad day at work. I was stuck out in the rain for hours. I sat in the drive-thru for 20, 30 minutes. All I wanted were stupid fucking nuggets. I opened the box, and the green nugget and the nuggies are a deep green color. My chicken nuggets were a deep green color. I waited 30 minutes after sitting in the rain for hours, after working in retail for hours, for green nuggets. But by the time I finally got them, I was just so done with the day that I fucking ate them anyway. I was like, I don't care if I get food poisoning at this point. I don't give a shit. I'm eating them anyway. I didn't end up getting food poisoning, but it was the fucking worst. It was terrible. Fucking. Crash into a pole. Did Matt crash while I was gone? No. I don't know anything about crashing. But if they were special Reptar nuggets, I don't think so, but that's optimistic. It was the worst. It was a terrible day. And that's by far the worst fast food incident I've ever had. And if it was on its own, it might not have been so bad. It was the collection of everything else that happened that day that made it so rough. There was no reason for the nuggets to be green. I'm pretty sure they just were bad. Good to see you again showing on Truck Stream. Yes, I am indeed, Maneater. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for liking on your way in. Pistachio flavored chicken nuggets. They were not. I guarantee you that. They tasted fine. They tasted fine, and I didn't get food poisoning. So I think ultimately they were fine. Just some mix up at the factory turned them green. The real problem is that not necessarily that they were green. The problem is that an employee fried them, put them in a box, and gave them to me. Someone made the conscious decision to give me green chicken nuggets. It wasn't like a subtle green color. They were very green. There was no reason anybody shouldn't have noticed that. It's just experimental. Hey, yo, I got the experimental radiated nuggies. Fuckers going on behind the scenes. It's just McDonald's employees not being paid enough to care. And I don't blame them for that. I blame the corporation. I worked at McDonald's for a few months when I was in high school. I don't blame anybody working at McDonald's who can't be bothered to give a shit. They don't give you a reason to give a shit. They don't pay you well enough. They don't treat you well enough. Oh wait, shit! Not this turn. Worked at this restaurant for 8 years, and I've seen some things on the review page. I remember this one where this lady wrote a bad review for me pouring boiling gravy on her baby and not listening. No such thing happened. Yeah, people tend to just lie on reviews. So I always have to take bad reviews with a grain of salt. You know, when I'm looking for like an apartment, I'll look at when I'm looking at an apartment complex, I'll look at the reviews to see what people think. And I always have to take what I'm reading with a grain of salt, like, right? Like if you read a review that says something along the lines of the management doesn't care, they only want to talk to you when they want rent. More than likely, the management company is fine, and that person in particular was bad at paying rent. What you have to look out for, what you really have to look out for is to look for repeat complaints when you're reading like apartment complex reviews or restaurant reviews. You have to look for the same complaint multiple times. I was looking at an apartment complex recently where more than one review mentioned that there were hackers living there that would hack into your devices and steal your data. So I was like, okay, not going to live there. I miss when Good Mythical Morning was just them talking about mundane life events and not trying to eat everything. What the hell? McDonald's pays double minimum wage in here, better than a construction worker a lot of times. Most places are not that case. The host beat me up and took my weed. I feel like Game Grumps kind of fell off. Game Grumps hasn't adapted to modern internet culture very well at all. They're still trying to do what they used to do. And what they used to do, like Let's Playing is kind of a dead format. Everybody live streams now. Live streaming, you get more of like an audience interaction thing. You get more of a personal connection with the streamer. Let's Playing is kind of a dead format. It's hard to like make that work these days. You know, the gaming videos that I watch these days are the gaming videos where they do something really fucking weird. Rather than just playing the game. I feel like the people will write reviews more like when they have something to complain about. Sometimes people just write reviews seemingly out of vitriol. Oh man, the nearest gas and sleep is so far away. I'm just gonna park my truck here. Call it a day. My ass hurts. I need to set up. Hi, Poggy Biscuit. Welcome to the stream. I'm about to end it. Thanks for liking the stream on your way in. Where are we driving to? The end of the stream. That's where we're driving to. I'll stick around a little bit longer, guys. We can talk. Main reason I'm not trucking is just because my ass hurts. So at least when I'm not trucking, I can actually like stop and change position. How bad is your eyesight? Not very bad. I have astigmatism, which makes my vision a little unfocused. It's not so bad that I can't see. I don't need my glasses to exist. Like I can still see fine. I can read chat. It's just my eyes will hurt after a while. So glasses are fake. They are not. Don't start that. What's the WPN? Mine's approximately 85. What the fuck are you talking about? Mine's 24, I think. 2040, I think. I don't know what my vision number is. I have my prescription, and if anybody wants to know, hang on, I have it written down somewhere. My right eye is plus 1.0 minus 1.0 times 180, and my left eye is plus 0.5 minus 1.25 times 180. So if anybody wants to order me glasses, there you go. That's my prescription. What's your IP address? Words per minute. Oh, I have no idea what mine is. It's probably not very good, to be honest. Is that a cat behind you? Careful, it will eat your toes when you sleep. Nah, Luna's a goofball. Hi. Were you napping? What were you dreaming about, you big baby? Thank you for licking my hand. That's very nice. Luna's a good girl. Get him those vintage cat-looking lenses. We'll never get another maid outfit stream. Donate $100 and I'll do it. There, that's as far as I can zoom into her. Luna! Luna, perk your stupid head up. There you go. Aw, big yawn. She's sleepy. She's not looking to be the center of attention right now. Hentai manga stories are more compelling than manga stories. A lot of them are hating the man spitting straight facts. Hey, Finger Gun Bar, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Did you ever have Bionicles growing up? Yes, Bionicles were fucking lit. Bionicles were the best. You left your dildo on the shelf, dude. That's one hell of a dildo. Fuck, man. Don't tell me back. I'll actually pay $100, and I'll actually wear the maid dress if you do. Don't do that. Don't judge me, but I was imagining, what if she falls? I mean, she'd be fine. Cats are great at falling. Bionicles are the precursor to Gundam outfits for me. As you can see on my bookshelf back there, I build Gundam kits. And that definitely started as liking Bionicles when I was a kid. So Bionicles are fucking lit. Bionicles are the best. R.I.P. to Bionicles. Don't know why they stopped doing them. Don't know why they brought them back, but worse later. My girlfriend had picked out Bionicles. That's when I knew I had to put a ring on it. Yeah, that's a good indicator for sure. Bionicles led me to Warhammer miniatures. Funny enough, they're like an introduction to those hobbies later on in life. Recite the Bionicle lore right now. There was the Toa. There's the Toa that represent each of the elements. There was an ice Toa and an air Toa. And the Toa were the chosen warriors of Mata Nui. But Mata Nui had an evil brother. I'm trying to remember the lore of the Bionicles movie. We watched that once on stream, which was fun. But they just weren't profitable. Makuta? Is that what? That's his brother, isn't it? That's it. Bionicle video win. Hey Kavas, welcome back. We're talking about Bionicles right now. My neck is fucking killing me. I slept on my neck weird last night or something. It feels like shit. How many Bionicles movies were there? There's 3. I have them actually. I have all of them. Bionicle and the Mask of Light, Bionicle Legends of Metrunui, and Bionicle's Web of Shadows. I have all of them. Just right here. I got them at a thrift store. They were all there, and I knew I had to have them. Did they make more? There's another Bionicle movie? Damn, I gotta complete my collection. Now, if we're talking Hero Factory, I don't consider Hero Factory to be Bionicle. I know Bionicle became Hero Factory, but the Hero Factory movies are not part of the Bionicle lore. Are you from Michigan? I lived in Michigan from ages 10 to 23. I moved to Oregon about a year and a half ago. You didn't see Hero Factory, Kavas? Hero Factory was like the super homogenized version of Bionicle. They weren't great. See, like, they all kind of look the same. They're not very unique. They have minor alterations, but, like, their chest pieces all the same. You know what was the worst about these things? They always looked terrible from behind. Like, you could see there's armor covering the front pieces. There was never anything on the back. Hero Factory looked terrible from behind. Can I see? Is there like back side view? Please don't pull up some weird R34 shit. I can't. None of these are what I'm looking for. Who the fuck is Dan Smalley? And what does he have to do with this? Founder or director of the Hero Factory? They made podcasts on the lore, really? Oregon Boo? What the fuck are you talking about? Oregon is lit. Oregon is the best. Living in Oregon is fantastic. Moving here was an amazing choice. And I have zero regrets. Far better than living in the fucking Midwest. Should I underscore what I got when I looked up Bionic on Google? I'm so confused. From the party in the back. The games you guys are looking at but haven't jumped into. Hang on, there's some ones I've been looking at recently that I want to play. Live in Michigan right now. It's somehow sunny and snowy. Living in Michigan was horrible. I hate Michigan weather. Michigan is it's so ugly and uninteresting, and I hated it. I hated it so much. The weather was horrible. Is there a Discord I want to share my collection? Yeah, it's in the description of this stream. You know what? There's actually a game I just saw the other day. Fuck, what was it called? Did I get it added to my wish list? It's not out yet, but it looks really cool. Oh, you know what? This is not the game I was looking at, but I'm kind of interested in the finals. I'm not like a competitive shooter guy, but I am interested in the finals. I think it looks fun, and not just because of the destruction mechanic. I think the destruction mechanic, in terms of like how they've integrated it with like strategy. It looks like it could be a really fun game, and the gunplay looks great. I'm interested in this one. I'll probably play this when it comes out. It'll be the first competitive shooter I played in a really long time. The finals looks cool. What are we doing, bro? We're just talking at the end of a live stream. I ended today Epic Sands. Welcome to the stream. Saw Critical Play. It looked really cool. Oh, Bill, you know what? I saw this one the other night. I thought you might be kind of into it. It's immersive sim looking type. Core Decay. This game looks like it could be pretty lit. I gotta play Hi-Fi Rush. That's on my list too. Love your anime videos. I watch all of them. I appreciate that, Epic Sands. I'm glad you liked them. That makes me really happy. Hades nuts. I have played Hades. It's not my favorite. I think it's a good game, but I'm not as into it as a lot of other people. It's on my list. You have seen this one? This game looks cool. This game looks like a decent, looks like it could be a pretty decent immersive sim. Favorite game is Monster Hunter Devil May Cry. I'm a big Monster Hunter boy. I have not played the Devil May Cry. I've played Devil May Cry 5 and a bit of Devil May Cry 1. I need to actually play those. I played all but the Bayonetta games, and I like those. I'm pretty hyped for Cities Skylines 2 whenever that comes out. I'll be playing the shit out of that. Mack plays Darkwood Win. I don't know if looks like my kind of game. Looked up Bionicles again and got R34 Thanos in my suggested shopping list. Nice. I also spoiled a chance for myself watching a video after finishing the anime. I'm sorry. not. I don't know, it depends on whether or not that you're upset by that. But I watched Chance Man because of you all. Well, I'm really glad I was able to get you into it because I really think Chance Man is very special and I think it's worth watching. Forgot to mention that if you decide to check out Fable, don't get the Anniversary Edition, get TLC instead. I want to play. There's a lot of games that I want to play. I really want to play. I bought it and I already forgot the name of it. What the hell is it called? My friend plays it so often. RimWorld. I want to play RimWorld. RimWorld. It's not a type of game that I normally play, but it looks interesting. I'm looking through my wish list to see if there's anything in particular that I've been looking at lately. There's a lot of interesting games that look like they rip power to and miss. You might come back. You never know. Switch Axe always. Charge Blade up in here. You ever heard about Carlson? He's nuts. Played Factorio? I have not. I'm not really into automation games that much. I did like Satisfactory, but so far that's been like the only one. Fellow Monster Hunter Boy, what was your choice? Yeah, Charge Blade. Big Charge Blade guy. Charge Blade and Incyclave. Are you excited for any of the Monster Hunter Sunbreak updates? I actually have not finished the Sunbreak DLC. I haven't been super into Rise. I liked World more. Play Disco Elysium. I don't really think I'd be into that game, to be honest. Not to say that it's a bad game, it just doesn't seem like the kind of game that I would enjoy specifically. I prefer more gameplay-focused games rather than dialogue or story-driven games. Love Longsword and Greatsword. Good choices, too. Wish I could delete messages, but oh well. Any guilty pleasure games from Mack/chat? Guilty pleasure games. I do occasionally like it. It's kind of a guilty pleasure because it's dumb. It's a dumb kind of enjoyment. I like No Man's Sky purely for like I'll play on creative and just go from world to world and see what I find. I love exploring in the world of No Man's Sky because I'm so into space. I'm such a space guy, but I don't like the survival aspects of No Man's Sky or like the gameplay loops. So I just play it to like explore the universe every now and then. Tips on being insane: embrace it. Nier, then you'd love it. No, I played Nier. I was not that into it. Thoughts on Mass Effect? Never played it. It's been on my list for a long time. So have you tried Stellaris? Looks pretty. Stellaris is a strategy game, right? I'm not really that into strategy games. I also haven't played it. The few that I've played, I have not enjoyed. I am trying to find like a strategy 4X type of game that I like. There have been none so far that I've enjoyed. So maybe I should play it just to see if I like it. I'm not willing to close the door on that completely, but I just generally have not enjoyed those kinds of games. Played Nier, got the E ending, baited myself to delete the save file, cried because that was my file. It's going to be 100% width. Skyrim is my guilty pleasure. I do still enjoy a good Skyrim playthrough, even though I recognize there's major flaws with the game, and generally my tastes have evolved. I just can't get over enjoying being in that world, I guess. Spaceborne 2 is a great space sim, still in early access. Never heard of that one. I'll have to check that out. You seem to be the type to play games for fun, not competitively. I am not a competitive player. I really don't like being competitive. It's not fun to me. I get why people like it, but for me, I prefer cooperative games. And it's not from like a difficulty aspect, because I do like difficult games. You know, we've talked a lot about the FromSoft games. I love the FromSoft games, but just, I don't know. I don't, call me a sore loser. I don't like the feeling of losing. I don't have fun when I'm losing. So for me, a lot of my most fun competitive games are like battle royales, like Apex Legends, because when you drop in Apex Legends, there's like 60 players and only 3 of them get to win. So when you lose, it doesn't feel that bad. You know, that's just my take on it. I don't feel bad losing. Cooperative, like Overwatch. Yeah. No, I love, like, my friends and I played a shit ton of Payday 2. I love Payday 2. Deep Rock Galactic. I love any game, Sea of Thieves, Valheim. I love any game that I can just hang out with my friends and we can have a good time together. I asked, since it's like space exploration based also, or at least significant element. I love that kind of thing. I really do. Kingdoms of Amalur's recent one. I've like tried to replay that one over the year. I've never been able to get back into it. I played it a lot like way back when, but I haven't been able to like get back into it. Spaceborne. This looks like it could be interesting. It's got very positive reviews. I'll have to check this one out. Gonna go around and see you next stream. See you, Diablo G. Appreciate you. From Software wants you to suffer, not enjoy. I disagree with that. I think generally their games, you know, if you take the time to learn how they're played, they expect you to work for it, but they can be extremely enjoyable. Thoughts on the Borderland franchise? Love the gunplay, hate the dialogue and writing. It's terrible. You ever played Rain World? I have not played that one. Jank, but it's good jank. Good to know. What race are you? I'm black. Never been asked that one by chat. I'm the whitest motherfucker you'll ever meet, I guess. Borderlands writing peaked at 2. I didn't like the writing in Borderlands 2 either. It was the style. It was something that people enjoyed at the time, but I don't think it's aged well. It's not, and they haven't evolved that at all. Hey, fat ass, welcome back. You played Roblox. I used to play Roblox all the time when I was a kid. My mom tricked my white sister into thinking she was black somehow when we were really little. They had to have a parent-teacher conference over it. What the fuck? Who has drawn you in your thumbnails? Let me pull up their Twitter. They were someone who was a viewer of mine for a long time. Still does watch my videos and tune into the streams every now and then. Revealed to be a really great artist later on, and originally I had commissioned them to do the thumbnail for the Nisekoi video. It was supposed to be a one-time thing, but I liked how the work she did so much that it ended up being a thing for every video. So if you go Noya's PJs on Twitter, this is them. They do great work. They do a lot of like Spy Family, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist stuff, Jujutsu Kaisen. They're a good artist. What manga, comic book, game should get an anime adaptation? Danzadan should get an anime adaptation sometime soon. How's Bones? I'm not really sure what you're asking me. You still have crayon drawings where she drew all of us white and colored herself in with a brown crayon? Oh my god. How did that happen? I only got to witnessing The Last of Us 2 story recently, but I remember buying into the bandwagon at the time, saying it was poorly written, couldn't be further from the truth, even Abby the antagonist. I haven't played The Last of Us. I have nothing to say about it. Any FromSoft game would be a great anime if they focused on the lore instead of trying to tell the story of the character themselves. You watched Owl House? I have not. It ended recently, didn't it? Or the artist quit? What underrated manga would you recommend someone to read? I don't know. Usually I make videos on stuff like that. I made a video on Vinland Saga because I feel like people weren't talking about it enough. First I go for Undead Unluck. I did not enjoy Undead Unluck. I really did not enjoy it. Have you watched Higo Arashi, and what's your opinion on the latest seasons? Nope, I haven't. So there's the end of that situation. Swear PlayStation release a Bloodborne remaster. Ugh. All right, guys, my neck is killing me, so I'm gonna end stream and go lie down. But thanks for watching. Thanks for helping me get some loads across the country. You know what Columbo is? Only from memes. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you later. Have a good rest of your night, and thanks for liking the stream. I appreciate that.